Welcome to the show. You're listening to The Human Resource. We're coming to you from ICRC-TV in Cincinnati, and my name is Pandy. And this show is going to go a little bit sideways. I saw an article the other day, and I really thought this was important to share. I'm not an OSHA expert. I've never proclaimed or told anyone that safety and the OSHA regs are right on the top of my head. But I do understand the importance of a safe and secure workplace. We've talked about this. And OSHA put out an article here not too long ago, their top 10 cited violations for 2024. And I have to thank John Ho. I saw a blog that he wrote. John is with Cozen O'Connor. And I thought, no, I'm gonna share this because I have to applaud him for picking these topics that people just really aren't watching, but yet you need to be aware of. You see, I've got clients in, I don't know what industry. I don't have anyone with airline right now, and I don't have anyone in mining, those two areas. But I feel like I've touched on just about everything else. And so I understand how OSHA creeps in and has an influence on everything from a jewelry store to a call center, all the way through to my marine companies. And when I see a list like this, I think, oh my gosh, let's think about this. The majority of what's on this list could be found in the majority of my clients. And do they realize just why it's so important to practice good safety at all times? So the top 10 list for 2024, as published by OSHA, starts with fall protection. Just basic fall protections. And remember, when OSHA's worried about it, that means that somebody is filing a workers' comp claim. Somebody's getting injured. Somebody's becoming impaired because of one of these 10 issues. And these are not all inclusive, but these are the top 10. Number 1, fall protection. Number 2, hazard communication. Number 3, ladders. Oh my gosh, how many times, even in a call center, somebody can step on a step stool. Somebody can use a simple 6-foot ladder to get into a cabinet and not do it properly. Number 4 is respirator protection. I kid you not. I still see individuals trying to use respirators with facial hair. Now, how effective do you think that is? Might be why it's number 4 on the list. Number 5 is the one that I think is the least efficiently trained on, and that's lockout, tagout. I tend to see companies brush through that quickly because it's normally associated with some sort of a maintenance situation, and they feel that their maintenance people are so well versed that they can train everybody else. That's not always the case, guys. Number 6, powered industrial trucks. Now that does kind of narrow in on the industry or the company type, but it is listed as number 6. Number 7, full protection and the training requirements for it. If we're not informing and training employees on all these topics, that can cause issues all by itself. Number 8 is scaffolding. Number 9 is personal protective and life-saving equipment, the eye and face protection. And I remember one client that I had where literally I could walk from one end of the company and to the other and find somebody on both trips, back and forward, who would not have safety glasses on because they got too sweaty or because they hurt their nose or because they didn't feel like they were attractive or for whatever reason. And really, do you want injuries to your eyes and your face? No. Number 10 is machine guarding. And this one, it just baffles me. I was just helping a client with a workers' comp audit because a temporary employee had come and removed the guard. They allegedly removed the guard, and then in the process of operating the machine, cut his finger. And again, the conversation comes back to, did you train the individual well enough to understand the importance of the guard? And can you prove it? Can you prove that you trained them? And was the trainer trained? Was that individual the appropriate person to be training on machine guarding? And that's a question you can ask on every one of these topics. Who was the person who was supposed to train the proper execution or use of a ladder? And most companies will look at me and go, what? You don't train for a ladder? Everybody knows how to use a ladder. Well, if it's number 3 on the OSHA list, apparently somebody wasn't listening or somebody wasn't training. So, ladies and gentlemen, take this as just a bit of advice. Don't assume that your folks know what to do. Always assume that if they get hurt, and inevitably somebody's going to get hurt if they're not trained correctly, it will come back and haunt you. And worse yet, someone might be physically and maybe possibly permanently impaired because you weren't doing what you were supposed to be doing when it comes to safety training. See, I don't know a lot about OSHA, but I do know the important stuff. Remember your general duty clause, safe and secure workplace. OSHA's there to help, and so are we. Right here at The Human Resource.